It's a new season and we've had a busy old transfer window, and on top of that it's the German Super Cup final. Let's get into it. So then guys, welcome back today to episode 72 of our Road to Glory series here with Kaiserslautern on FM21. And as I just said in the intro, it is the German Super Cup final today, and on top of that, of course, it has been the transfer window. It's still open at this point in time. It's still about a month or so in game, but I reckon we've done the majority of our business and I'm very pleased with the business which we have done. Before we do get going though, in today's episode, which of course is a repeat of the German Cup final, if you do want to go back and see how we got on up against Leipzig in that initial German Cup final, there'll be a link right above you so I can see exactly how we did get on in that match. And of course, if you missed how we got on in the league, I'd recommend going back and watching that as well before I inevitably spoil it for you very, very shortly. Of course, as well guys, if you do enjoy today's video, do make sure to chuck a like down onto it. And if you want to see any more of my content, such as the Red Devil Revival, then do make sure to hit that subscribe button and to ring that notification bell to be notified whenever my content here on YouTube goes live. Now then, what we're going to do today is we're going to focus initially on all of our transfer business, both out and in. I'll run through who's left quite quickly and then go through in a bit more detail as to all the players who have come into the squad. And then we'll be taking on Leipzig in this German Super Cup final, a tournament we've never competed in these in-game, and our first chance at trying to win it. And of course, I will spoil what happened for last season, guys. So if you haven't gone back, go back now. But we, of course, won the Bundesliga. We did not win the Cup, though. So we're going to get a bit of revenge here up against Leipzig in this Super Cup final today. Now, I get into the transfers and I'll run through exactly what is going on. You can see there's still a few bits and pieces still going at the moment. It's looking like our backup left back, Ganesh, is probably on his way out. If there is any more transfer business that takes place between now and the end of the window, I will cover that in next episode. But you can see we have been very, very busy, both with players leaving and joining. There has been an awful lot that has been going on, that is for sure. I'll run through all the outs first of all. An awful lot of players have gone. A lot of them went very early on in the window. I did a lot of my business very, very early on. We've only made one signing kind of the last 3 weeks or so. Most of it was done within the first 2 weeks or so of the window opening. And in terms of players who went out, a lot of youngsters who went out on loan or on free transfers or a little bit of money here and there. In terms of the big name players who have gone out, the first one is Stefan Schulz, our backup keeper, has gone out on loan to Bayer Leverkusen. I'm going to get game time. You'll see shortly why he has gone out. We then have sold Andreas Skletterberg. Of course, a few seasons ago, he was a very good little striker for us, but he just kind of hit his heights a bit too early and we found he wasn't really being consistent enough. And then we got a better striker in Chimpitaz into the team, and the likes of Pellegrini and other players who have joined. And Galatasaray came in with a bid of 18.25 million. I think it could rise up to 20. If I remember, there is a sell-on fee involved as well. He was on loan most of last season. He's gone. I felt that was a fair offer. We bought him for 4.5. He's gone for 18 mil. Happy with that. We've also sold Christian Oliver, a player who was with us about 12 months or so. We got him on a free, sold him for 4.9 million. Happy with that bit of business. It could rise up to 6 as well. We then sold one of our former youngsters, one of the original players of the Kaiserslautern squad, Diego Oliveira. He hasn't been with us for quite some time. He's been out on loan the last 3 years. He was never good enough for the Bundesliga. St. Pauli's paid £500,000. There is a sell-on fee involved in there as well, but he has now gone. Also, we sold 2 right-backs. Angelo Bruckner, who was out on loan last season, wasn't really doing much for us. We bought him for 6 million. We sold him for 7.5, a small bit of profit. And Nicholas Dobke, a youngster who I played as a right-back. He was probably more of a winger. He wasn't very good technically. He was just all physicals. Not much else to his game. Wolfsburg have paid 5 million. Could rise up to 8. Happy with that business. So as you can see, a lot of decent bit of business. Lots of players who would never get in the squad going for quite good money. We did the same as well with Kevin Endoram, who was our backup DM last year. We've already improved on him. He's gone for 3.2 million. Could rise up to 4. We bought it for 2.5. Little bit of profit. Sekunarka, the young Finnish midfielder, has gone out on loan for the season to Portugal. Hoping he'll get a good bit of game time over there. We've also loaned out a couple of our youngsters, Manuel Wirtz, who I was going to keep at the squad, but you'll see shortly why why he's gone out on loan. But the big bits of business, in my opinion, was Christian Mosquera. He, much like Skretterberg, had fallen down the pecking order. We got a decent bid of about 17 mil. Happy with that. We bought it for about 6. So good bit of business. And a couple of other youngsters went for a small amount of money. Carnivale being a little bit of decent cash, 4 million quid for him. He's not worth that whatsoever. But that is all of our transfers out. £62 million in. I mentioned earlier on our backup left back Ganesh is looking like he's going for about 5 million quid as well. Lots of dead wood really has been going out of the squad. No real starters have left. There is interest in Hikmet from a couple of Chinese clubs. We had a bid of about 40 mil, but he turned one of them down. So he could be leaving. Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to wait and see. But at the moment, that is what's happened. In terms of those coming in, we've been busy, and I'll go through them all. There's a couple of youngsters I won't highlight too much. The first of which is Simon Jensen. Decent young striker, 5-star potential player at 16, but he's well off of that at the moment. He's 1.5 star and on a free transfer. I thought that was quite decent. We also signed another youngster, Shabazi from Dusseldorf, for 2 million quid. That was his release fee. He's a German homegrown player. He's a decent defensive midfielder and can also cover right back. You can see him on the screen. 4-star potential. Was happy with him. But in terms of the rest of the players, the rest of them are all coming in to either be starters or squad rotation players, depth players, whatever you want to call them. And I'm really happy with who it is. First of all is Pellegrini. I mentioned last season he'd agreed a deal to join us permanently. He finally has done. He's valued at £40 million. 3-star accountability, 3-star potential. Really love Pellegrini. He's been with us about 4 seasons on loan. He's finally here permanently. Chuffed with that, really am. And then after that, I think I also mentioned this as well in either last episode or last season. Bernd Leno has come in on a free transfer. He comes in as a loan backup keeper, hence why Stefan Schultz has gone out on loan. He's on 50k a week. He's happy to be our cup goalkeeper. He comes from Hoffenheim after they paid £30 million for him. And I think as a backup for us, he's a really good option. 34 years old, German international player. Couldn't ask for much more. Now, of course, one of the issues we had at the end of last season was the fact Jamie Lawrence, one of our better centre-backs, was leaving the squad. Bayern Munich wouldn't let us loan him back in. That has since changed. We have actually got him back on loan now for 2 years. I don't know why Bayern let us loan him, but we paid about 3 million quid for him coming on a loan. He's now our player for 2 seasons. Really happy with that. But because of the fact Jamie Lawrence was initially not coming in, I agreed to deal with Zenit St. Petersburg very cheap, about £2 million to sign Christian Bielik. Now, we have a lot of depth now at defence midfield and at centre-back as well with Bielik coming in, and I'm really chuffed with him. He's apparently one of the best defenders or midfielders in the league now, and we signed him for 2 million quid. So really happy that his contract at Zenit St. Petersburg, which is where he was at, was running out, which is why we got him so cheaply. But Bielik coming in, really happy with that bit of business. We also signed Maxi Eggstein from Werder Bremen. Bremen got relegated in the league. They got relegated by the playoffs, so we got him in on the cheap. German player, really happy with him. Bit of depth for the team. You can see a bit of a recurring theme here. We're trying to give us more strength in depth. After winning the Bundesliga last season, I think we just need to consolidate and try and give ourselves more options in our team. I don't think there's too many major areas we need to improve upon, at least in general. But Eggstein coming in, 6.75 million plus a player. It was a youngster, this guy here, Ibrahimi. He wasn't very good, so it was about 7 million quid really for him. Happy with that. After Eggstein, we got in Odsonne Edouard, and I think personally this is one of the best bits of business I have done in this save. He's only rated as 3-star current ability, 3-star potential, but he comes from a domestic rival, so we've weakened Hertha Berlin, and he is valued at 40 million quid. We signed him for 18. I think it could rise to 22 if he scores 50 goals. And he's really good. Really, really class player. Can play as the advanced forward, can play as a deep line forward as well if needed. Can play on either wing, can play slightly further back if required. And I think Edouard coming in could be a really good player for us. This is another fantastic option up front. I'm happy he's in at the squad. Lewandowski, by the way, did retire, so he is now no longer here. Hence why Edouard has now come in. We then signed a new right back from Spurs in Dante Casanova. Initially my intention was to make him our first choice right back, but personally I feel he's about as good as Nico Williams. I'm happy to swap him around. He's better than what we had in Ludwig, so happy with him coming in. He comes in quite cheaply if you ask me, for roughly £11 million and on a decent contract. He's a very good option. He's only 22, got a little bit of growth in him, so hopefully we'll see a good bit of football from him at right back for us this season. And then we have 2 more players. I'll first of all mention Marco Salah. He comes in as our new backup left back with the likelihood of Ganesh leaving. I've brought Salah in. There is an option to buy him. He's on loan for the season for about 30k, which isn't too bad. Pretty happy with him. But in my opinion, one of the best signings we have made, possibly in this entire save so far, is this guy from Flamengo. I think my first Brazilian region I've signed in this save with Kaiserslautern. £12.75 million paid for him. And this is Cosme. He is 19 years of age. I'm training him to play as a proper central midfielder, but he is absolutely amazing. He's an advanced playmaker on attack. Every attribute is 14 or above, with the exception of his anticipation. He has 20 flair. His technicals are disgustingly good. He's going to be a very, very special player indeed. And I'm looking forward to seeing him when he gets into the team. And at 19, he's going to grow. He's 3.5 star current, 4.5 star potential. When I signed him, he's 5. I reckon it's probably close to the 5, if I'm being honest. But he could be absolutely phenomenal. He really, really could do. Of course, guys, that right there is all our transfer business so far. The window is still open, but I doubt I'm going to make any more signings. Our wage bill is pretty much maxed out at this point in time, so we'll have to wait and see. But we, of course, have the German Super Cup to look forward to today. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Let's see how we do get on. In terms of how we're lining up for it, I'm going with pretty much the squad that won us the Bundesliga last season. So it's Misic in net, Lidin and Lawrence at the back. It's Williams at right back, Lutzo at DM, Franco at left back. Is in Amiri Tagsa from Firmek in the midfield with Pellegrini and Chimpataz starting up front. All of our new signings pretty much are all on the bench. So hopefully we'll see a good showing from them all today. But let's get into it. Let's see how we do. Can we get another trophy to our name? I'd love it if we can do. Get a bit of revenge over RB Leipzig. It'd be really good if we can do. They are managed by Stefan Baumgart, who was with them at the end of last season when they won that competition. Very decent squad, and maybe actually the same squad that played against us in the cup final. So will we see a repetition of last episode? I hope not. I'm going to say we owe them. I think that's a fair thing to say. But let's get into it. Come on, lads, let's have a better performance than we had in the German Cup final last time around. I think this year our bench is far stronger than it ever was last year, so we have so many more options available to us if we do require them. And yes, the window is open, but I doubt we'll be seeing any more names coming into the squad unless players leave, which could happen. There is interest in some of the lads, so maybe it will happen. We'll have to wait and see, but I am really looking forward to the season. I'm hopeful we can try and see if we can retain the league once again. We, of course, won it last year. It was with the record's lowest ever points total, running 69 points. So it's not going to be as easy this time around at all. Hansi Flick is still at Bayern Munich, but I know Dortmund have got a new manager, so it is going to be tough. Will we be able to do it? We'll have to wait and see. My aim is definitely the cup this year. 100%. I want to finally win that, so we'll see what happens. There's a highlight, by the way. Finally going along last, we actually had the first one in the game. Pellegrini on it here. Over to Franco on his left side. Hector Franco plays it across. Pellegrini is a full-time player at Kaiserslautern. Now gets his first goal of the season. We take a first half lead here against RB Leipzig. I think we are at home actually in the Fritz-Walter-Stadion. I think the league winner gets the home advantage in the German Super Cup final. I'm not entirely sure there. But a lovely little ball across there from Franco. Lovely little finish from Pellegrini. Really, really good bit of football. Happy with that. Can we take a first half lead in at half time? It looks like we might do. Indeed, we are. Fantastic stuff indeed. Amazing first half. Leipzig haven't apparently had a shot all game. 9 shots to a 6 on target. 1.62 XG. Nothing at all from Leipzig. Let's keep doing that. Point the finger, don't get complacent. They all pretty much agree, other than Misic. We're going to say to him, you weren't that bad. He's looking okay. We get straight into that second half. Not change anything. We don't want to upset anything with any of the lads. Although I am seeing that Firmek is struggling, so we are going to sub him off as a result. Firmek off. I'm going to get Cosme onto the pitch, actually. We'll bring him on. You can see he can't play it. He can play it. He just isn't sure on it as of yet. So we'll get him onto the pitch. We'll give him 40 minutes here in this match. Maybe see a little bit of a wonder performance from him. Who knows? He probably won't be very good until he starts speaking German and actually learns the position. But we'll try and give as much game time in the meantime to get him used to it. Also, I see Tagsef is struggling as well. I'll get Eggstein onto the pitch as well. I'll swap these two over. I reckon Eggstein's more of an advanced playmaker, box-to-box type player. And I can see that Lutzo is struggling as well. So I will make that sub. I'll get Bielik on pretty shortly. There's a highlight going on now. Only the second one of the game. It's been a very, very dull affair so far, but I don't really care. Cosme, come on. He's going for it. Oh, he goes for it with his weaker foot. He's left-footed. I don't know why he hit that on his right there. He could well have put in that back of net if he actually took it on his better foot. But there's a highlight for Leipzig. They've done nothing all game. Not a single shot. They got a very dangerous free kick. Collado stepping up. He shoots. He hits the the post. We are very, very lucky indeed. We're going to make that final substitution then. Liuzzo's going to come off for Bielik, I reckon. I'm going to telescope balance. We're going to go a little bit of time wasting. We're going to go more disciplined as well. Come on, lads. Just over 10 minutes to hold out and get ourselves another trophy as Kaiserslautern boss. But it is a highlight on the go right now. 82 minutes gone. Will it be one for us? It's a great ball. Pellegrini on it here. He hits it. It's hit the post. And the ricochet almost goes in for an own goal. But Van der Vaart manages to keep hold of the ball. Very lucky from Leipzig. Very lucky indeed. We're going to go cautious, full on time wasting and lower the tempo. 5 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Can we get another trophy? There's a highlight of the 91st bloody minute. It's a decent stop there from Misic. Hopefully we'll be calm and keep hold of this ball. Okay, Misic still has it. He hasn't cleared it as yet. He's taking his time, which I'm all for, to be honest. I'm happy with him wasting a bit of time. He lumps it eventually up the pitch. That's going to be an easy header for Gvardiol. Indeed it is. Elsa Brock here on this left flank. Plays it up the pitch. Come on, we should win that. Franco does win it. Chimpetaz. Eggstein now. Come on to Chimpetaz to Pellegrini. He's done his man. Pellegrini. A chance for a second. He's dinked the keeper. Oh, it's game over now. They are not going back in. There's not enough time. Lovely, lovely bit of play there from Pellegrini. Does all the hard work and gets the finish as well. We go 2-0 up. We've got our own back for the German Cup final from last season. And we look like we're coming away with the German Super Cup. My first time winning it in this year's FM. First time as Kaiserslautern boss. And here we go. Coming up to the pedestal to collect our trophy. Lovely stuff indeed. I'm not sure who's captain today, actually saying that. I think it may be Franco, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll see in a sec as to who goes to lift it. I'm passing it over. I still don't know who it is I've given it to, because normally the captain is Liuzzo. But here we go then. About to lift another trophy as Kaiserslautern boss. And we've done it. Fantastic way to start the season. Hopefully gives us a nice little morale boost going into this year's season. I highly doubt we're going to come away as Champions League winners or anything like that this year, but I want another good year. Congratulations, lads. They all look over the moon about it. Of course they do. Why would they not? And a really good performance from us. Really chuffed that. Of course, guys, that is the only game we're going to play today. So let's go to our schedule. We'll find a way to come back for next time around. What I will do is we will play through the entirety of August. We have got some big games coming up, including Bayern Munich at home. But I want to kind of whiz through these opening first few fixtures. And we'll come back at the beginning of September. We have Hoffenheim and Mönchengladbach, two tough teams at the beginning of that month. There may also be the Champions League game in there as well. If there's any transfer business, I will cover it with you in next episode. Otherwise, if not, we'll play both of those games next time around. But of course, guys, they'll all be coming in Friday's episode. Overall, though, guys, that brings this video today to a close. And what a wonderful way to start the season off. Really good bit of transfer business in my opinion. Of course, you guys have to let me know what you think of it down in the comments. I think we're in a really strong position going forward. I think we're predicted to finish third in the league. I think they still reckon Bayern and Dortmund have better teams than us, but they reckon we do have the third best squad now in the league, which says a lot about the improvements we have made, and I'm very hopeful that it will be shown going into this season. And of course, winning that Super Cup is going to help us out. Morale rising from that starting of the season. Hopefully we can kick on, make a good start to this year's campaign. If we can do, maybe we can look into retain our trophy. We'll have to wait and see. But guys, I really do hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have done, make sure to chuck a like down onto it. And of course, guys, well, if you do want to keep updated with any more of my content, such as the Red Dead Revival, then do make sure to hit that subscribe button and to ring that notification bell to be notified whenever my content here on YouTube goes live. But guys, thank you very much for watching. I will see you again next time.